The following is a paid presentation on Ottawa's News Talk Radio, 580 CFRA.
Now another hour of 580 CFRA's Experts on Call. Tips, information, and advice from professionals and business owners in our community. Here's your host, Norman Jack.
Welcome back to Experts on Call, 580 CFRA. Norman Jack with you, and with me in the studio this hour to answer all your questions about kitchen renovations from MR Kitchens, Guy Bianchi and Colleen McKinnon. Good to see you too. Happy New Year to you both.
Happy New Year to you too.
Now you're back in. It's the time of year, I think, when now that we've got Christmas out of the way, everybody is saying to themselves, okay, you know, the house could use a little sprucing up. I've had all these Christmas decorations up. It looks so bright. With the Christmas decorations down now, everything looks sort of meh. A kitchen is a great place to start. I guess, number one, because not only will it make it look nicer, but it'll add value to the home as well.
Definitely, Norm.
When you look at renovations, too, I think a lot of people will look at their kitchen and say, oh, where do I start? I mean, how do you start a kitchen renovation? I guess the first thing to do is look at how much it may cost. That's
right, Norman. That's one of the main questions we get day in, day out. I find that, you know, most people get a little bit uncomfortable talking about, you know, their budget, but it's so important for us to be able to help them by knowing, you know, roughly what they want to invest in a project. I'm sure there's lots of people out there that, since they don't even know what their budget is, they're even afraid to walk in the front door.
Yeah.
You know, I sort of try to break it down for people, you know, into sort of like, you know, three sort of price groups. Obviously, the sky's the limit, but
right.
It really depends on, you know, how long you plan to be in the house, your neighborhood, the cost of the home, etc. But generally speaking, to give you an idea of what you get for your money these days and what to expect in a kitchen and renovation, if you're planning to do an economical kitchen and you want to do some nice wood cabinets with, you know, you can want to keep the cost down, you can do a laminate countertop.
Okay. There's
lots of nice laminates out there today that look like granite. And with that type of kitchen, with the handles, kitchen sink and faucet, everything you need for a functioning kitchen, delivered and installed, you're looking at around $10,000-12,000.
Yeah. I think, too, what a lot of people will say is, okay, I have certain ideas about what I'd like my kitchen to look like. The great thing about going to MR Kitchens is talking to people like you, Colleen, who are designers in the business, because, you know, sometimes their particular design plans may not mesh well with, say, the rest of the house.
That's right. Yeah, it's important for us because when we go out to your home, we take a look at the space, we take a look at the style of your home. We want it to flow with the home, the rest of the home. You know, if your home, most of it is, you know, traditional. I'm not going to put an ultra modern lime green kitchen in your in for you. And sometimes, you know, people talk about, well, you know, my neighbors are blowing out walls and doing open concept, but you know, my budget's only $20,000. Well, maybe you don't need to blow out a wall. Maybe I can come up with a solution where, you know, I can redo your kitchen. You know, put in some vinyl floor that looks like ceramic, some laminate counters, do some ceramic backsplash, you know, get an electrician in, plumber in, and, you know, maybe another, the reno, you know, maybe just widening the opening into the kitchen instead of blowing out a wall. And maybe that reno would only come to $10,000, you know? So.
Yeah. It all depends on what they want to do. I think that as well, a number of people will say, well, my kitchen's not big enough. It seems that every time I look in a magazine or I see one of these TV shows, the kitchens are like 4 hectares in size, and they've got some humongous island built in the middle of the kitchen where they can do all their work. You don't have to have a kitchen like that to have a really nice renovation job done.
No, you can. I mean, with a designer who's experienced in kitchen design, we'll be able to look at the function and the flow and be able to. There's a lot of accessories that you can put into cabinetry to help with the function and accessibility to things a lot more easily these days. So working within that space and within your budget.
Okay, let's go to the phones now. You can give us a call, 521-TALK. That's 521-8255. We've got Mike on the phone from Ottawa. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you. What can we do for you today?
I've got a quick question for Colleen, actually, a couple
Sure.
of quick questions. The first is I'm looking to resell my house, but looking a couple of years down the road, I'm looking to, I'm trying to understand whether, to reface my kitchen cabinets or actually install a new kitchen. So, Colleen, can you help me understand, some of the things I need to consider in making a decision like that, and also give me some help around the resale aspect of it too?
Sure. Well, it's a question actually we get quite a bit. Not as much these days, but we still do get people coming in asking about that. There are some great places out there that do refinishing or refacing in town. We did do that. We don't do that at the moment. We found that a lot of people coming in, we would price it out to reface versus doing new. And the cost wasn't that much difference compared to when you weighed out all the benefits that you can get from a new kitchen. A lot of times if the kitchen is, usually 20 years old is when people start coming in looking to redo their kitchen.
Yep.
If you're keeping the same cabinets that, they're at the end of the life of the cabinetry, and you're putting, new nice looking doors on the outside, and then you're putting, most people want to put granite or quartz countertops
I'm looking
in.
at that, yeah.
Yeah. That's quite a heavy permanent item to put on the top of your cabinets. If your existing cabinets, for retail or for resale, your buyers coming in, some might not notice, but some are a lot more educated and knowledgeable these days, and will open the sink cabinet and look underneath. And if you've got some water damage in there, you can make it look as nice as you want on the outside, but and maybe it's not. You've got a blind corner, not very good corner solutions. There's not enough drawers. There's nothing to organize things in the kitchen. The function doesn't work right, or the flow doesn't work right. And I think people look for those things today in with buying a house, because if the price of the house doesn't warrant the renovation, and they know that they're going to have to tear it all out again and redo a brand new kitchen, and they have to factor that price in and the time involved, they may go down the street and buy from your neighbor.
Okay. Can I ask one more question, or?
Sure.
It's just, you mentioned old cabinets, and I'm looking to put granite on old cabinet.
It really depends on the cabinets, if they were, what they were constructed with and how they were constructed. It may or may not take the weight of the counter. It's hard for me to say, but you should have that, checked out.
Just don't drag in a granite countertop and plunk it down on top.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're, if you decided that you were going to stay for a few years, then, I would definitely look at maybe putting some new cabinets for sure.
Yeah, that's something I hadn't thought about. Okay.
Yeah, at least you'll be able to enjoy them for a few years too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Right.
Take care.
Right.
All right, we're going to take a break here on Experts on Call. When we come back, more answers to your kitchen renovation questions from Guy Bianchi and Colleen McKinnon from MR Kitchens. You can give us a call at 521-TALK, 521-8255, star 580 on your Bell Mobility cell, or toll-free 1-800-580-CFRA, 1-800-580-2372. We'll be back with more from the experts from MR Kitchens right after this.
There's more Experts on Call in a moment on News Talk Radio 580 CFRA.